And it was Black Americans who inspired Asian American activists to even come up with the term Asian American.
I felt the need to get involved because for some reason
I was just really driven to talk about a lot of what was happening in the Asian American community. I think anti-blackness is something that's really deeply rooted in my community and in a lot of Chinese American communities. But it's also a subject that's very taboo. So a lot of people tend not to talk about it, or nobody likes to talk about how they've hurt other communities or their own flaws. So it's really not a conversation that really happens anywhere. But I thought it was very important because I had this chance to publish on a platform like WeChat, which is really accessible for a lot of Chinese Americans, particularly people who don't have English as their first language or who speak Mandarin.
You wrote that it was the work of Black Americans that paved the way for a better life for Asians and marginalized communities. Can you explain just a little bit more on that?
What a lot of Asian Americans don't understand is that, or especially immigrants who came to the US after this 1965 Immigration Act was passed, a lot of people don't really have an understanding of how much the civil rights movement contributed to our privileges or our, sustainability as Asian Americans. People don't realize that it was actually Black Americans who pushed for a lot of desegregation policies, and it was Black Americans who inspired Asian American activists to even come up with the term Asian American. So without, the work of Black leaders and Black organizers and Black activists, I think we'd be in a very different place in American society today. And that's something I really hope people can internalize more, can understand more.
What is your message for a global audience about why international Chinese communities should not ignore these protests sparked by the death of George Floyd?
We don't exist in this post-racial world where we can just simply work hard and, put our heads down and ignore the plight of Black Americans and other marginalized people to, gain white privilege and to overcome racist trauma. I want people to realize that the Asian American fight for liberation is deeply or intimately intertwined with Black liberation. Not only should we support Black Lives Matter, primarily because it's just the right thing to do, to stand up for other people and to take care of other people, but also it very much has a lot of the same goals as Asian American activism, which is to destabilize and dismantle a lot of these systems of white supremacy and racism. I want people to see the stake that we have in standing alongside Black organizers and Black leaders and achieving, a much less racist society.
It looks like a long march ahead, hopefully paving the way for a better future. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.